Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. I'm Susan from Tiara Lace Crochet, and today I'd love to share with you how to crochet this little throw. It's worked in panels, so we have the star stitch panel, some bobble stitches with reverse single crochets, or the crab stitch or the knurl stitch, and here we've got some diamonds as well, so the diamond stitch. It is not too difficult at all, and I'll go at a pace which is great for beginners as well as those that are slightly more advanced. I popped a little edge around the blanket, which is totally optional, and it mirrors this little bobble stitch panel here. Right, so I've done a sample just using 20 chains, and that's done using a different style yarn, which is a merino but still a bulky. It's, I think, from DMC Woolly. Yes, it is, and it's a 5 weight. And it's worked up really well with lovely stitch definition, as you can see. Now, it's worked in multiples of 4, and each row will have the same number of stitches. So for your blanket, go ahead and chain 148 chains for the measurements that I have. I'll just show you the little bit of information that you might want to, if you want to make it the same length and with the same yarn that I've used. But you can use any bulky weight yarn. Okay, so this little sample is worked using just 20 chains, but for the blanket you'll need 148. So let's get started with our first panel of star stitches. We're going to start with our 6.5mm hook for the star stitch panel, and I'm using 20 chains for the sample, but if you're starting the blanket in its entirety, you need 148 chains. So ignore the loop on your hook and skip the very first chain. In the next chain, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, and do this in each of the next 4 chains along, until you have a total of 6 loops on your hook. There we are, 6 loops on our hook, and then yarn over and pull through all 6 loops, and yarn over and pull through to close. And that completes a single crochet 5 together. And we've got some little loops here, which I refer to as the arms of the star, and this little space here as the eye of the star. This left loop here is the left arm of the star, and we'll be working underneath that and also into the base of that left arm just here. And we'll be working 5 single crochets together. So insert your hook first now into the eye of the star, yarn over, pull up a loop, then insert your hook under that left arm of the star, yarn over, pull up a loop, then into the base, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then into each of the next 2 chains, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. And then to close, chain 1 or yarn over, pull through to complete your next little star, well, half a star. Row 2 completes the star. Right, so you continue this all the way along to the end. So I'll just show you once more. Insert your hook into the eye of the star, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert your hook under the left arm of the star, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert your hook into the base of the left arm of the star, yarn over, pull up a loop. And then insert your hook into each of the next 2 chains along and yarn over, pull up a loop each time till you have 6 loops on your hook. then yarn over, pull through all 6 loops and chain 1 to close, or yarn over, pull through. Okay, so continue with this sequence to the end of the row and I'll meet you there. So when you reach the end of row 1, this is how it would be looking, or should be looking. To give it a nice edge, insert your hook back into the eye of the star, skip the left arm and go straight into the base. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You can see this is how it's looking. So it looks like you have another little arm of the star there. Okay, so for row 2, just turn your work, and in each eye of each star we're going to work 2 half double crochets, no turning chains or anything. So here's the first little eye there, or if you prefer, you just skip the stitch and then work in the next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the eye of the star, the first star, yarn over, pull up a loop, and you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then work another half double crochet, exactly the same. And in each eye, work 2 half double crochets to the end. So go ahead and I'll meet you once you've finished row 2. You should have a total of 17 stitches if you're working this little sample, but if you're doing the if you're doing the blanket, then you'll need a total of 145 stitches to have 145. Okay, so once you reach the end of row 2 and you've done all your half double crochets, 2 in each of the eyes, if you look here at the end of your work, you can see 2 vertical bars there. To get a neat edge, pop your hook in there, yarn over, pull through and pull through the loop on your hook, doing a slip stitch, and that gives a lovely neat edge. And then we're going to chain 3 to start row 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn. It doesn't matter if you do your chain 3 after you've turned. And now we're going to repeat row 1. However, we're going to work into skip a chain, ignoring the loop on your hook, skip that first chain and work into the back loop of the second chain by inserting your hook, yarn over, pulling up a loop, and you do the same in the next chain. And then we're going to do the same in each of the next 3 stitches of row 3. So inserting your hook, yarning over, pulling up a loop. So we're working our single crochet 5 together again. Yarn over and pull through. This is how it's looking. And once again, just like we did on row 1, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook under the left arm of the star, yarn over, pull up a loop, go into the base of that left arm, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then into each of the next 2 stitches along. So we're now working into stitches rather than chains. And that's the only difference really between row 1 and row 3. So row 3 will become a repeat row, as will row 2. So continue with this sequence to the end of the row and I'll meet you there. Just be aware at the end of row 3, you can see these little ridges from the row below. Just make sure you look for those 2 little bars, horizontal bars at the end, and identify your last stitch. You might need to rotate your work a little and go underneath both loops there for your last stitch. And that way you get that little ridge stitch there, or little loop that looks like a ridge. And then once again, to neaten up the edge, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, go into the base of the arm, skipping the arm, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that completes row 3. Now we're going to repeat row 2 and 3. So turn your work, repeating row 2, we go in with our half double crochet row. So continue with your 2 half double crochets in each eye, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Then for a neat edge, we finish with a slip stitch between those 2 vertical bars. So that completes row 4. And for row 5, we repeat row 3. So chain 3, turn your work, skip the first chain and ignore the loop on your hook, and work exactly the same as you did for row 3. So if you continue with this sequence, I'll meet you at the end of row 5. So once again, to finish off the last star with a neat edge, work like so, just as we did on row 3. Then for our final row of the star panel, it's row 6. We're going to repeat row 2. So yarn over and work 2 half double crochets in that first eye of the star, and repeat this all the way to the end, and I'll meet you at the end of row 6. So we've reached the end of row 6. Find those 2 little vertical bars, insert your hook in there and work a slip stitch to finish. Then yarn over and pull through. Then we're going to snip the yarn and tighten. So this is the reverse of our work, or the wrong side. If you flip it over, you'll see your completed panel of star stitches. So for the next panel, we're going to work the bobble stitch, which is framed with a reverse single crochet row. So we're going to be working our reverse single crochet row next, working from left to right. So we'll need to attach our yarn in this first stitch here, but that's for the next video. for part 2. So I look forward to seeing you then. All the information for the different parts of the videos will be in the description box below. So thank you for watching and see you for part 2.